Yeah, I mean, we're pleased with the performance that we had. We talk about trying to have consistent performances and stack on them. So the match against Atlanta, I think, is a good example of that. It's a quick turnaround. So everything that we're doing today or yesterday, today leading into Chicago is about focusing on ourselves, seeing how the guys recover, and then working through. I would say focusing on the things that we do well, trying to continue to get better at those things, and applying some of those ideas to the challenges that Chicago is going to bring. It's a team that's is close to us in the table. I think they're looking at us the same way we're probably looking at them as a game where both teams want to earn 3 points. We're at home. We want to have a good performance, but it's about us doing the things that we do well and being confident that when we do that, we can compete with anybody.
Great, thank you. We'll start in the room, and reminder, if you have questions on Zoom, please use the hand raise function. Ben?
Yeah, BJ, just looking back at the Atlanta game, obviously getting the win, keeping a clean sheet on the road, all that. What are maybe some things that you saw that you maybe didn't like, maybe isn't the right word, but that you want to improve on from that performance specifically?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's always, we analyze the matches always through the phases of play. And I thought we were really good in some of those, in a lot of the phases. I think, again, we talk about capitalizing on scoring chances. In the beginning, we still had more, and can you put the game away there instead of leaving it at 1-0? I think we can do that better. I thought we defended the penalty box well, but we still gave up a couple chances from, I would say, not so much now inside the penalty box, but making sure that the second level is set, so we're not giving up dangerous shots from right around the top of the penalty box and making those contested. The big save that Joe has to make in the first half comes from a moment like that, and then actually there's a moment in the second half that a shot very similar happens that's going on frame that Walker puts his face in front of and makes a really brave play that goes out, but it's almost an identical pattern there. So I think when we talk about the phases, the low block was much improved. We were much more difficult to play inside the penalty box, and now it's getting that second level really secure. But really, a credit to those opportunities that when you rewatch the match, you see Teal and Sam deep defending. That's a credit to what I would say one of our greatest strengths of yesterday was everybody was attacking and everybody was defending, and done in a really collective way.
Yeah, and then obviously Drew kind of came on, I think, for just a minute or two there at the end. But he's back. Patrick's coming back from suspension. I think he and Sean both played for Huntsville yesterday. Just what does having those guys available not just do for you, not just in terms of like what you can ask for midfield, but just having more bodies available with a bunch of games coming up?
Yeah, so I mean, first I think you're right. Patrick and Sean, Johnny, Forrester, and Julian all had the opportunity to play with Huntsville yesterday, which is for me, a tremendous asset for us. And again, talking about the alignment through the club and something that we're trying to utilize really well with the same messaging, the same way of playing. That's a prime example of how that can help us to get guys, I would say some match minutes in their legs for a big stretch like this. We've been riddled with injuries throughout sort of this year to some key people, and it's really nice to have them come back slowly but surely, like you saw with Sean and Drew. And again, it gives us flexibility. It gives us flexibility, it gives us fresh legs, and it gives us more competition inside the squad. And we know when there's good competition for positions, you kind of see the best of each guy come out, and we're looking forward to utilizing that.
Ross?
BJ, the shape of the team looks different from prior to you arriving here. What have you liked from what you've seen from the shape against Atlanta, anyways?
Yeah, I think the shape that we were able to play against Atlanta was a shape that we chose because we wanted to keep the ball out of the middle of the field. So we wanted to create density in the middle of the field that started with Sam and Teal both playing up top to try and get the ball into wide areas. We felt like if we were able to get the ball into wide areas, the play would be much more predictable for us. And then I think what it also showed is it opens up the opportunity to create offensive transition. And we had a lot of moments. Not only did we have a lot of successful offensive transition moments, there's moments that we could have even we missed a pass here or missed a pass there, or maybe, got fouled early. Credit to Atlanta to stop one. But there was a lot of promising sort of attacks that occurred as well. So I think for us, first and foremost, when you look at the shape, you're trying to put the players in the positions that bring out their greatest strengths. And I think, when you look at that group and you look at Hani and Anibal and Brian and Alex, like they're very, very good at making it difficult to play through a middle. And then they have I would say, the ability. And now I think we're working on creating that connectedness and that cohesiveness to be able to press as a group into the wide areas and try to win it. And then if you get, again, we're talking about how can we utilize Hani. If we can get him on the ball in offensive transition and get players around him and joining the attack, then, that's not something I would necessarily say I teach, or you just kind of you kind of let natural instincts happen. But when you give somebody more players, the more creative they can be.
It's your first win over the last couple of days. How have you soaked it in? What's the last couple of days been like as you've processed your first Major League Soccer win?
I would say it was 39 minutes. That was the plane ride from Atlanta back to Nashville. It was quiet on the plane. You have the moment to think about it, and then we were right back in here early the next morning. And we're a team that pretty much tries to tick over on processes. So half the staff was already into Chicago, watching their game versus Red Bull. The other half of the staff was already looking at analyzing our match, and we've pretty much already, with the meeting yesterday morning with the players, we've already turned the page. One win is nice, but the group here has bigger collective goals that we know that we need to kind of continue to take care of business.
We'll go to Valera on Zoom.
Hey, BJ. Is it easier to analyze and I guess correct certain things when you do end up getting the win than when you watch bad games after a loss? The way that I would say the way that we have our process is set up. No, we basically analyze the opponent and analyze our matches in the same exact way, week in and week out, regardless of result. And again, so we try. It's our job to not be emotionally connected to the result and try to really continue to improve and get better each week. So no, I think we have a really good way of going about our analysis, both of ourselves and the opponent. We try to stick to that because we believe that that's sort of the best way to continue to improve over the weeks and over the months.
Go ahead, Black. Do you have another?
Yeah, obviously you have a goal for this season and you've been public about it. But I guess are you spending any time maybe working on certain things for next season? Or preparing anything or doing any sort of other work for what's to come after 2024?
No, my commitment, our staff's commitment inside this building that work with the players day to day is we're 100% committed to the group that is here, improving them, making them the best individual players they can be, making the team the best team that we can put out week in and week out, and again, really focused on our short-term objectives. Clearly, we're establishing an identity and a way that we want to play, but that is for more the club as a whole. And like I spoke about with the alignment from the top to the bottom. So, in terms of bigger picture, longer term, I would say that. But no, my focus, our staff's focus, the players' focus is 100% on the short term, exactly what we need, and that's our short-term goal of making the playoffs, and right now flipping the page to being focused on Chicago.
We'll go to Claudio.
Thank you, Sean. BJ, how much does a coach intercede with, so he's pretty new to the team and it's actually getting your idea into the player's mind, how to think about when another team comes to town after a good victory like last Saturday. I mean, how much that victory could actually permeate into the kind of work you have to do in those parties come Wednesday.
Carrying over the momentum from the big win Saturday into the work for this week.
Sorry, it was just a little bit hard to hear. Yeah, I mean, you know, the result that we get sort of gives us that final proof that what we're doing, you know, and what we're believing in and what we're working hard for every day is the right path. You know, we all believe that, but you know, a win always feels good and sort of marks it there. It also, for me, it sets the new standard, right? The way that we played sort of sets the new standard in the group of what we expect out of each other and what we expect out of the team each and every night. So that's what we're going to build on. That's the momentum that we're going to build on is sort of that accountability now to each other that, you know, okay, we can perform at this level, and now we have to do it in a consistent manner, and we got to flip it, you know, another time here against Chicago. And I think when you believe in that type of mentality, that's how you can really start to build, whether we want to call it momentum or get yourself on a roll of consistent performances.
Go ahead, Claudio. One more.
How much are you worried, in terms of what that team brings to the table for this Wednesday? I mean, what are your thoughts about what you need to be careful of? You know, not only about your team performing, but what needs to be aware of before the game.
Basically, your assessment of Chicago.
Oh, yeah. I mean, again, for us, we you know, I think Chicago presents a few different challenges. They're a team that have changed their tactical shape a little bit. They changed their personnel. So we have to be prepared for a lot of different scenarios from them. They present a lot of different challenges that way. They're very, very good on offensive transition. They clearly have, you know, whether, you know, Kuipers is a guy who can score goals at any time. Koutsias has come in and scores a big goal. You know, they have a really good midfield. I would say a balanced midfield of players that can control the ball and players that can go box to box. So for me, they're, I would say, a team that's, you know, got to win this weekend, and they do present a lot of challenges. And then the last piece is that their attacking set pieces are very good. They make a lot of first contacts, and we're going to have to be organized from a defensive set piece side. They have a lot of, I would say, routines and plays that they do each and every week. So that'll definitely be a challenge and an area of focus that our team has to be alert on, you know, and not have switch off type of moments.
All right, thank you, Coach. Thanks, guys. We'll be back shortly with Alex and Will.
Thanks, guys.